Hello, my beauties, and welcome back again to the channel. Thank you so much for pressing the play button. If you are new to the channel, please do go ahead and press the subscription button as well as press the notification button. This will help you to not miss any content going forward and get to hear the lovely topics that we talk about on the channel. I am the Yuka Mommy and I post content on mommy tips as well as a lot of cleaning videos. Let's get right to today's topic, which is a mommy tip related topic. Today we are talking about education. Excuse me, let me just get comfortable. We are talking about education, specifically at home education. I don't know if it is the same where you are from, but where I currently am and in the school that I am taking my little one to, there is a parent-teacher relationship of teaching. That means that everything that she learns at school, I need to reinforce and also help her grasp at home. So I'm all for making things easy. I'm all for being innovative. I'm all for being involved in your little one's life and involved in their education and just being an overall hands-on mom or parent. So what I went ahead and did is, because we're learning ABCs, I got myself or her one of these little boxes. You can find them at any one of your China stores close to you, as well as at any of the I could say any of the shops that sell toys or kids toys, right? So these are easy because they have got letters on them, and it has helped me quite a lot with helping her trace the letter and understand and learn, how the letter is written so that she can identify it. So I do a two-step system or a two-step way of teaching her the letters when we use the blocks. One is that I get her to touch and feel what I call the shape of the letter. Then I ask her to look at the letter and identify it through look. So we use feel and touch, and we also use sight so that she can identify how the shape, I refer to it as a shape because I found it easier for her to grasp the fact that not all letters are the same, and for her to also identify each specific letter when she sees it. So we refer to the letters as shapes. So I ask her to learn the shape of the letter. Then I ask her to look at the shape of the letter so that she remembers this is the letter P. And then I also ask her to move the certain letter. So I will say move the letter P so that she can start identifying the shape, the feel, the sight, the touch, and also that movement of moving the letter helps her to grasp each letter. I hope I'm making sense, right? So that is one of the ways that I have tackled education and educating her at home. Besides the fact that her school works in that way, I do firmly believe at the end of the day that, engaging with your child in that element of educating them could only broaden their way of thinking, it can broaden their mind, it can broaden their education level, because there's some things that sometimes the teachers don't get to, and this is no diss to teachers. I'm just saying that as a parent, you can add on to the teaching curriculum that the child has by also enhancing it in your own way and teaching them things that might not necessarily be in the school's curriculum that obviously the government gives to each and every school and to the schooling departments, right? Then the next thing I wanted to talk about, or that I do in the home, is the alphabet. So alphabet. So we've done it now via the blocks. We've identified how it looks. We've felt it, we've touched it, we have moved it so that we can remember it. Then I buy these little books, and I mean, you can find these, like I said, at any shop that sells toys, at any bookstore, at any China store, and it's simply a tracing out book. This one comes with a marker that you can erase, and it helps them to trace the letters and learn how to write the letters. You can see that she did her B's there. We've already wiped out the A's that we did last week. So one of the important things is to keep to a certain alphabet letter for a week or for 2 weeks, depending on how fast your little one learns. So I tend to stick to one letter for a week and then we move on. And the reason why I remove it is because sometimes it can get stuck on there and we do want to reuse this book, you know. And that's a great thing about it, is that they're not so expensive and they are reusable, the most of them, and you can continue to use it over and over and over again. So then we start practicing how to write the letters, right? That's also part of the type of education that I am implementing with her at home, as well as extending what she is learning at school, right? The other book that I like to use is this one. I also found it at my local China store, and I've looked around as well in the bookshops. They do tend to have these books. You know, any shop that sells sort of like kids' toys and stuff like that also do tend to have them. I do find though that the China store closest to you tends to have a bit more of a variety, and you can pick and choose according to age. So that's just what is available closest to me, but I am sure that it should be available, or some other places should have similar, if not the same book. So this one teaches them numbers, also tracing out the numbers, you know, tracing out the numbers. And this one we've done in pencil. It's also reusable, which makes it quite easy, you know, to continue repeating, you know, with a book a child is familiar with, and that you can go over it over and over again. And even if they've made a mistake, that they can quickly erase it out and just continue on. So we've been learning a few numbers. She's now learned to identify the actual numbers. She identifies up to 30, and you know, it also helps her to count. So on the specific page, we would then, you know, go 0, 1. She would start counting all the numbers. There's also another one that I don't have here, but I'm showing one of these pages. Oh, here it is. Here is something similar. So this one teaches them how to count items. So as you can see there, there's one item. She will then say 1, 1. I teach her to identify how many items are there, as well as identify the number 1. So 2 items, and then identify the number 2. 3 items, and then identify the number 3. So then she counts all the way to the end, and then as and when she grasps, then I will continue to bigger numbers, bigger items to count, and so we continue on. Right. You can also download videos on YouTube that your little one can learn from, such videos as colors, as well as identifying numbers. There's quite a few videos on YouTube and programs on YouTube that are educational, that you could download for your little one. I allocate a specific time in the day for us to extend what we've been learning at school, as well as enhance her learning journey and curriculum. So we've got an at-home curriculum that, you know, teaches her a little bit extra than what she's learning at school. Then we also follow the school curriculum, because they do give a weekly homework guideline, and we try and follow that, and then I add on to it as well. Right, I'm referring to my notes. You guys know by now I don't want to forget anything, and I want to make sure that the points that I've laid out are communicated in all of the videos so that we can all learn and engage. Right, then painting is another way of your little one learning. I know a lot of people sort of like associated with play, but it is teaching them hand-eye coordination, which they need for writing, which they need for reading. They need it in future for a lot of things. It's part of their development. So it's a fun way to learn and to also develop the sort of milestones that they need to be at. And hand-eye coordination is one of them, right? Then the other way is play. Play helps your little one to think. It helps them, those little activities where you run from the next place to the next, where you kick the ball. It helps with hand-eye coordination. Most of them help with hand-eye coordination, but it also helps them to critically think, because when you play games like cards, games like X-Spoon, games like races, it helps them to think how fast I need to run to get to the next point, where I need to kick this ball and for it to end up in the net, how fast I need to walk, how I need to catch the ball, what I need to do to get it into the hoop. So it helps them with critical thinking. And that critical thinking comes back again to them learning. Because when you start getting to the point of having to study, having to write essays, having to present in front of class, you need to use your critical thinking element of the brain in order for you to be able to make your point come across, as well as write an essay that is compelling and take in the information and the research that you need for such essays and interpret it. So that is critical thinking, and play helps quite a lot with that. So those are my points for today and my little piece of advice on how we can educate our little ones at home and enhance, obviously, on their current curriculums that they have in the school. Thank you so much for watching until this far. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.